ng Ramadan. At matatapos na rin ang Ramadan. Kaya magkakaroon tayo ng Eid. Pero sa holiday, it always means something else. Di ba? Tapos, ang mga pagtatrabaho, yung bagong shifting ng trabaho ninyo, probably ay nagkaroon kayo ng mga adjustments, nagkaroon ng mga bagay na pagbabago sa buhay ninyo, but later on, magbabalik din. Noong mga nakaraang linggo, we were dealing about the first segment of our series before was when Jesus said, I will. And the first thing we tackled was when He said, I will build my church. Natatandaan niyo? When Jesus said, I will. Kaya nung nakaraan, it was probably the first week of June, sinabi natin na, tiningnan natin yung sinabi ni Jesus na, I will, siguradong gagawin ko to, I will build my church. So, itutuloy natin yan. And this probably is the one you need na sinabi ng Panginoong Hesus ngayong pag-aaralan natin ngayong araw na ito. So, let us open our Bibles to the book of Matthew 11:28 to 30. Ito yung hanap nating lahat. Ito yung gusto nating lahat. Okay, 28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened. Okay, sino sa inyo ang pagod at medyo nabibigatan na? Parang tayo tinatawag nito, di ba? Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Ito yung pangalawang pag-aaralan natin sa sinabi ni Jesus na, I surely will. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Lord, minsan po kaming dumadalangin. Let the Holy Spirit speak into our hearts and just strike our hearts and our minds upang sa aming pakikinig, Panginoon, ay makita namin ang kahalagahan ng iyong salita and the significance of all those words na magagabay sa amin tungo doon sa sinasabi mong a perfect rest that is provided none other than you. Ikaw ang makapagbibigay. Huwag mong hayaang Panginoong Diyos na mayroong anumang bagay na makadistract sa aming atensyon sapagkat ang oras na ito ay dakila at banal para sa iyo, Panginoon. Inaari namin sa iyo ang aming panahon. In Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. Ito, sino sa inyo may ayaw niyan? Ang sabi ni Jesus ay, I will give you rest. Pagod na ba kayo sa shifting ninyo ngayong Ramadan? Para bang nakakapagod, di ba? Ang shifting ninyo. Ano shifting ninyo? Ano ba yung working hours niya? Nakakapagod. Minsan papalitan, ganito ganyan. Although, mababa lang yung oras, konti lang yung oras, pero parang nakakapagod. Yung iba naman, hindi. Nakaupo lang sa bahay dahil mas nakakapagod yun. Alam nyo ba na mas nakakapagod yung nakaupo maghapon kaysa may ginagawa? Kapag marami kang ginagawa, kailan naman kaya ako makakaupo? Pinaupo ka naman maghapon, kailan naman kaya ako may gagawin? See? The irony is that kapag tayo may ginagawa, gusto natin umupo. Kapag tayo nakaupo lang, gusto natin may ginagawa. Ano ba talaga gusto ng tao? And Jesus said, I will give you the true rest. Okay? Kapag ka-boring ang buhay mo at wala kang ginagawa, come to me. I will give you what? Rest. Alam niyo, yung rest, hindi lang namang yung nakaupo ka dyan. Kaya sabi ko sa'yo, mabigat yan. Subukan mo 2 buwan, 3 buwan na wala kang ginawa, nakaupo lang, ewan ko lang kung hindi ka ma-hospital. Puro kain ka lang. Kain, tulog, upo. Delikado yan. So, I will give you rest. Kaya ito yung ating pag-uusapan ngayong umagang ito. Okay? When Jesus said, I will what? I will build my church. Now, this is the second one. I will give you rest. Kaya tingnan niyo ha. Ang rest na ibibigay ni Jesus is not, hindi mo napupulot kahit saan. Meron siyang mga sinabi. Para magkaroon ka ng nitong rest na ito, well, there must be something else that we have to do. Kaya, mapapansin niyo nung sinabi niya ito sa kanyang mga tao sa kanyang harapan, they were in a situation wherein everything is tiresome. Ang lahat ng bagay, ang lahat ng area ng buhay nila ay nakakapagod na at nakakasawa na. Alam niyo yung rest na yun, hindi lang naman sa pagod doon sa sawa na sa buhay. Yung bang, yung bang ang lahat ng bagay mula pagkagising hanggang sa matulog na lang, in his or her mentality is that there's nothing new and everything is tiresome, nakakapagod ang lahat, nakakainis ang lahat, at wala. Saan ba makakahanap ng something that would really spice up my day, yung that would refresh my day, something that will give me rest? Pahinga. Kaya, mapapansin niyo mga kapatid, ito yung sitwasyon noon. No? Jesus replied, "And you experts in the law, woe to you! Because you load people down with burdens they can hardly carry, and you yourselves will not lift one finger to help them." Ibig sabihin, mapapansin ninyo, Jesus was in a situation, and the people were in a situation na ang lahat ay nakakapagod. Politically, they were under the Roman Empire na nag-i-impose sila ng maraming tax. Kahit yung pinakamaliit na mga mamamayan ay kailangang kuhanan ng tax, at ang ginagamit pa yung mga kalahi nila. At yung kalahi nila nakikita nila yung mayaman, para ba sa atin? Kailangan na ng pagbabago. Sabi nila. Kaya, eto na, ano ba ito? Puro na lang ganito, puro corruption na lang. Tayong mga mahirap, lalo naghihirap. Tinan mo yung mga iba, kumapit sa Roman Empire, kaya yung mayaman. Ganito rin yung panahon nila noon. They see people, very few, na talagang para bang umaangat sa buhay, pero ang pangkalahatan ay para bang lalo nang nalulugmok. Kaya, that is politically and economically. Ngayon, socially, narito naman, socially, it was a social meltdown, social breakdown, kasi hindi na nila ma-exercise ang kanilang mga kalayaan. Kasi nga, under sila lahat ng tao noon will be under the empire of Romans. At ito pa matindi. Ang ginawang hari doon ay kalahi nila si Herod. And Herod was such alam nyo na, oppressive na tao na kailangang siya yung bida sa palagi, at siya yung, kumbaga siya talaga yung hari. Kikilalanin ng lahat. That is socially and spiritually. Ito pa yun, may freedom ang mga Israelita sa kanilang templo. They are free to do to exercise their religion. Kaya lang, ito na naman yung mga mapagsamantala. Pati yung mga spiritual leaders nila ay talagang ginigipit yung mga tao. Alam niyo yung mga temple tax, hindi naman mayaman yung lahat ng tao, hindi naman lahat ay maraming tupa, kaya kailangan mo ng tupa, magdala ka doon, sasabihin sa'yo ng parent, pangit yung tupa mo, palitan mo yan. Ang maganda, ito, tupa sa templo. Kaya benta mo yan, bilhin mo to. Kaya yan, benta mo doon, tao din na yung bibili doon. Bibili niya ng 5 dinar, ibibenta niya ng 5 dinar, bibili niya ito ngayon mas pangit na tupa ng 10 dinar. Kaya 2 tupa ang ibibenta niya para mabili niya isang mas pangit at mas payat na tupa. So, yan ang sitwasyon. Sabi na, this is something that is not acceptable. Ito'y bagay na nakakapagod na, ilang taon na ang dumadaan. Daang taon na ang dumadaan. Yung lolo ko, ganito na ang nangyari. Hanggang ngayon pa naman, ganito pa rin. Pahinga, rest. Kaya nga pagdating ng Panginoong Yesus, sabi niya, okay, alam niyo, yung sitwasyon ninyo ganyan, you need rest. Okay, kung titingnan ko ngayon, do you need rest? Kailangan mo ba ng pahinga? Huwag kang mag-alala. 2 weeks na lang, Eid na. Diba? May pahinga. Kaya mapapansin ninyo, o kayong iba naman, huwag kang mag-alala. Ilang araw na lang, uuwi ka na. Rest na. Yan ang akala ninyo. Baka lang pag-uwi ninyo, mas nakakapagod doon at makakadismaya. Kasi inaasahan mo, ay, nagpadala ko ng pera, pinagpapatayo na ako ng bahay. Pag wala pa yung bahay. Utang meron. Yun ang mga nakakapagod. Now, ito yung sitwasyon din ng Panginoon ng mga tao noon. Everything is tiresome. Socially, economically, and spiritually nakakapagod na. Para bang, ang daming ganyan, sinasabi dito, sinasabi, ang lahat ng bagay ay nakakapagod na. Kaya, mga kapatid, Jesus said, I will give you rest. Ito ngayon titingnan natin. We'll take a look at the biblical guidelines to a perfect rest in a world of exhaustion. Saan tayo makakahanap ng pahinga doon sa mundong nakakapagod na katulad ng mundo natin? Sana kung napakabait yung mga boss ninyo, supervisor ninyo. Kung hindi, bawat umagigising mo sa umaga, sa bahay nyo, yun ang mukhang nakikita mo. Pagpasok mo sa kusina, yun pa rin ang pagkain kinakain mo sa umaga. Pasok ka sa trabaho, yung pa rin ang mukha ng mga tao makakasama mo. Yung pa rin ang aura ng kanilang pananalita, walang pagbabago. Tapos eto na naman yung boss mo na medyo may pasigaw ang dating. Hinihintay mong dumating yung araw na lang, daang araw na ang lumilipas. Dahil siyempre, nakakailang taon ka na rito, di ba? Well, is that something like exciting? Sabi mo, sakyan ako makapagpapahinga. Now, biblical guidelines to a perfect rest in a world of exhaustion because this world, ang mundo natin ay nakakapagod. Ang mundo na ating ginagalawan mula nang pumasok ang kasalanan ay nakakapagod at mahirap nang makahanap ng things or places of excitement na para bang, tingnan nyo Friday, no? Kung titingnan ninyo, pahinga ba yan? Nakakapagod ng Friday sa atin, di ba? It's relaxing sometimes. When you go home, in the night, pag pauwi mo ng gabi, mas pagod yata ako ngayon kaysa kahapon sa trabaho. Well, physically yes, but spiritually no. Kaya titingnan natin ngayon yung level ng ating rest. Perfect rest in a world of exhaustion. Kaya ang tanong, would you ever wish for a life free of sufferings and struggles? Ito ba ang wish mo? Wish ko lang na ang buhay ko ay walang sufferings, walang struggles. Alam niyo yung wish mo kapag yan wish mo ng boring na buhay. Because a life that is free of suffering and struggles is a boring life because sufferings and struggles are special ingredients of life. Ito yung nagpapalasa sa buhay. Kapag wala kang paghihirap, wala kang konti man lang pagdurusa, wala ka man lang pinagsusumikapan, wala ka man lang, you have nothing to struggle for, ay, ano ba ng klaseng buhay yan? Di ba? Wala kang dahilan para gumising ng maaga. Wala kang dahilan para kumayod. Wala kang dahilan para pumunta sa kapitbahay dahil ayaw mong machismis. Wala kang dahilan para pumunta sa kahit saan dahil ayaw mong maka-experience ng mga bagay, makakita ng mga bagay na nakakabigay ng problema. Ayaw mo rin sanang mag-Facebook dahil daw doon ang daming nakakainis. So what kind of life is that? Boring. Kaya nga mga kapatid, rest is only for those who are living in an exhausted world. See? Ang pahinga ay para lamang doon sa mga tao na nabubuhay doon sa mundo na punong-puno ng pagod at paghihirap. Kasi kapag wala kang paghihirap, wala kang struggles and sufferings, you don't need rest at all. Because you are already at rest in peace probably. See? Sufferings and struggles are special ingredients of life. Because what matters is what? Ito ngayon. For whom or for what are we struggling for? Ito ang pinakamaganda. Napapansin ninyo? Para ano ba at para kanino ba na ikaw ay nagsusumikap at nag-struggle sa buhay? For whom and for what? Hindi ba napapansin ninyo? Pumunta kayo sa Kuwait because there's a reason. Pwede kang, katulad yung mga natatrabaho sa disyerto, kaya nilang gawin yon. Nakakapagod yon. Yung bawat umaga hanggang hapon sila sa disyerto na ganitong kainit. Tapos uuwi na naman sa barracks nila sa disyerto. Well, masaya nilang ginagawa yon. Why? For what reason? Dahil alam nila sa pamamagitan nun ay mapapag-aral nila ng kanilang mga anak sa Pilipinas. Now, for what are they struggling for? Because there is a goal. Meron isang bagay na iniligay nila sa buhay nila na I may go through sufferings and struggles but I reach that place. Kapag narating ko na yung punto na yon, it's worth it all. Yeah, kaya nga ang sabi ni Jesus, well, ganito talaga buhay, ganyan talaga buhay nyo. But if you have set a goal, it will be worth it all. Now, do you want rest? Ito ngayon yung titingnan natin. Steps on how we can reach to that perfect rest in a world of exhaustion. Now, number one is this. Kaya kailangan natin makita the invitation of Jesus to a perfect rest. Ito makikita niyo, sabi niya, come to me. Bakit hindi niya sabing, if you want rest, you go to Logos Church. Oh, if you want exhaustion, come to Logos Church. Kung gusto mong mapagod yung tenga mo, pumunta ka sa Logos, ang dami mong maririnig hindi maganda. Kung gusto mong mapagod yung puso mo, pumunta ka doon. Ang daming mga hindi nagkakasundo doon. Mapapagod lang yung puso mo doon. Kung gusto mong ma-offend, pumunta ka doon sa churches because churches are full of hypocrites. Doon ka mapapagod ng gusto. Well, Jesus said, don't go anywhere. Don't go to the temple. Don't go to... You come to me. See? Doon yung makikita. If you are looking for rest, don't go to any church. Go to Jesus Christ. Kaya nga, ito yung iba eh. Pagod na siya sa ganito, kaya hanap. Hindi pwede dito. Ang daming problema dito sa grupong to. Punta lang sa kabila. Ang dami ng problema. Well, you cannot find rest in anywhere except in the presence of the Lord Jesus Christ. Come to me. Sino ba yung tinatawag niya? Oh, you who are weary and burdened. Identify yourself. Are you weary? Pagod ka na ba? O kung uuwi ka ba at medyo magpapahinga ng 6 na buwan, mabubuhay ba yung anak mo? Hindi eh. So you have to struggle more. Diba? Ganyan yan. Kailangan magsumikapan mo pa because when you belong to the category of those who are weary and burdened. Alam niyo yung salitang yan, if you will study deeper sa kanya salitang original in the Greek text, the word weary is the effect of the word burden. Okay? Pagka pinag-aralan mo yan, yung salitang weary o pagod na ay dahil sa gawa ng siya ay nabibigatan na. Dahil hindi ka na mapapagod, hindi ka nabibigatan. Well, the logic is there. Sinong napapagod na hindi naman nabibigatan? Well, it depends upon the category. Alam nyo, yung mag-exercise, magbuhat, nakakapagod yan. Pero hindi yan weary ang resulta. So, it depends upon the mentality of the one who is bearing the burden. Alam niyo kapag when I started working in the gym, doon ko mapapansin na yung mabibigat na dinadala mo doon, it gives you some relaxation. Pero yung ibang mabigat na dinadala mo rito, it really press you down. Kaya magkaiba, parehong weight yun, ha? Parehong weight, parehong bigat. Kaya dito, bigat ng physical that will give you something good. Dito naman, bigat emotionally and mentally that will really strike you down. Kaya nga, it depends. If you are weary because of that burden, eto ka, you belong to the category of those. Jesus, hindi naman iniimbita ng Panginoon yung mga hindi weary and burdened. Kaya sabi niya, I came for the sick, not for the well. Dumating ako para sa mga may sakit, hindi para doon sa mga magaling na hindi kailangan ng doktor. Kaya nga ang salita ng Diyos, ang Panginoong Hesus, He came and invites all of you who are what? Weary. Who, if you believe you are weary and burdened. If you believe you are weary and burdened by what? By the word? No. Those who are weary and burdened because of what? Because of anything that you have in life that is burdening you. Maybe sin is wearing you down. Maybe something, yung ugali mo ay talagang dinadown ka dahil hindi mo mabago-bago ang iyong ugali. Marahil meron kang isang bagay na ginagawa na hindi mo maalis-alis sa buhay mo, na hindi mo maiwas-iwasan. Meron isang bagay sa tao sa buhay mo na hindi mo maiwas-iwasan sapagkat inilagay ng Diyos yan sa araw-araw na makikita mo. If you are a person who is really burdened and weary, Jesus said, don't go anywhere. Come to me. Halika. Saan ka pupunta? Avenues na naman. Party na naman. Well, that will wear you down. It adds up to the burden that you are bearing on your shoulders. You can't go anywhere and find rest. Rest, the perfect and genuine rest. You come to me. Yan ang sabi ng Panginoong Jesus. Kasi nga, nakita niya yung sitwasyon ng mga tao. Now, if you talk about the invitation, look at the inviting person. Because Jesus declares rest. Ang sabi niya, you may be able to find rest in me. No, He said, no, you will find rest. You come to me, kung kayo nabibigatan sa buhay, pagod na, and I will surely give you rest. Hindi niya sinabi na, let me see how good you are and I will give you rest. The condition is, you just come to me. Come to me and I will give you rest. The inviting person declares that there is rest pwedeng mahanap. Kaya, huwag kang maghanap. The one who can give rest, doon ka pumunta. Parang ganito lang yan eh. Kung kailangan mo ng tinapay, huwag kang pumunta doon sa hardware, pumunta sa bakery. Minsan kasi tayo, naghahanap tayo ng rest. Pero ang pinupuntahan natin yung mga bagay na nakakapagod. You want peace, pumupunta ka dun sa mga bagay na nakakagulo ng isip. That is human nature. We focus our attention to the wrong place. Sa maling lugar at sa maling destinasyon tayo nagpupunta if we are looking for something else. Mga kapatid, the credibility of the person who offers rest, you have to understand. Kapag sinabi ng tao na, alam mo, halika, at mamasahihin kita at gaganda pakiramdam mo. Eh, hindi na nga naman masahista naman yan. Imbalsamador yan, delikado ka dyan. Hindi yan masahista. So, look for something to the person who has the credibility to do that. Kaya nga, Jesus said, come to me and I will give you rest. So, don't go anywhere. Don't go to the disciple or to anywhere, to the disciple of whoever it is. Huwag kang pumunta sa sino mang nag-a-advise sa'yo ng mga bagay na it talks about human logic. Come to the one who said, I will give you rest. Because He Himself is the rest of our souls. Okay? And look at this. The invited people deserve that. Kapag hindi mo kailangan ng pahinga, hindi ka naman maghahanap ng pahinga. Kapag hindi mo kailangan ng Panginoon sa tingin mo, you will never come to Him. Those who come to Jesus Christ are only those people who thought and who think in their hearts and in their minds that they needed the Lord Jesus Christ as their Savior. Kaya papasin mo mag-share ka. Yung mga tao na hindi kailangan yan, ngingitaan ka, oh, maganda yan, pero ikaw na lang. Why? Because they don't need rest. They don't need Jesus in their lives. Now, if you think you need something from the Lord, it's only Him that can give. Siya lang ang makapagbibigay. Siya lang. Kaya nga, mapapansin ninyo, Jesus wanted all people to come to Him. Kung mababasa ninyo sa ibang mga kasulatan, look at what He said before na siya ipako sa krus. Oh, Jerusalem, sabi niya, you who killed the prophets and stoned those sent to you, how often I have longed to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you were not willing. Ganto pa rin ang sinasabi ng Panginoon sa akin. How many times I wanted to take you into my presence, but you are always going away from me. Ilang beses na nais kong lagi kitang kasama upang maturuan kita at magawa ko ang mga bagay na nais kong gawin sa buhay mo. But you are straying away. Ikaw ay napapalayo sa mga bagay na ginagawa mo, sa mga bagay na pinag-uukulan mo ng panahon, sa mga bagay na inuubusan mo ng iyong pera. Where are you straying away? Sabi ng Panginoon sa atin, come. You need rest. Alam ko, pagod ka na sa buhay, but I want you to be with me as a hen gathers her chicks so that I can protect you, I can prosper you, and I can provide for you. Yan. Yan ang invitation. Now, if you take a look at that invitation, if you study deeper of the word, yung come is an appeal to the will. Hindi yung appeal to the presence only. Pumunta ka nga, yung isip mo naman wala nandun. Hindi nandun. Now, this word come, kung pag-aaralan mo sa Greek, it talks about, it's not about you going beside, lalapit ka sa Kanya, it's about your mind and your heart going beside the Lord. Doon ka papunta. That is the word come doon sa Greek. It's an appeal not to your bodily presence, but to your mental and heart presence. Kaya ang sabi ng Panginoon, halika. I want you, I want your mind, I want your attention, I want your emotion to be beside me because it is only then that you can find rest in your souls. Nandito ka nga, wala ka naman yung puso mo wala, isip mo wala. How can you be with the Lord? When He said, come. Nandun naman ako, but you have not come. Your mind is not there. Your heart is not there. Now, 2 is this place that talks about close proximity and me is about personal relationship. Kaya nga, when Jesus said, come to me, He said, I want your mind, I want your heart to be just beside me so that we can have a personal relationship. I can talk to you and you can talk to me intimately. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng Panginoon. And the invitation is there. And you know what? The invitation is still there today. Sa ating mga napapagod, sa ating mga nabibigatan, Jesus is still telling all of us, come to me. Alam ko, pagod na kayo sa buhay nyo. Ang daming problema sa pamilya nyo. Yung kapatid mo nangangailangan ng ganito. Yung kapatid mo na hindi tatanggapin ang natagpuan mong kapayapaan sa Panginoon. Yung mga magulang mo na para bang pag nalaman nilang ikaw ay nag-atin sa ganito, ay sila pa ang magpe-persecute sa iyo. Yung mga bagay na ganito. Yung trabaho mo na para bang pahihirapan kapag nalamang ikaw ay nandito sa mga grupong ganito. These are the things that wear us down. But Jesus said, now, come to me. This is an appeal to your will, appeal of constant proximity, and a personal relationship. the invitation to a perfect rest. Now, pangalawa, para makita natin yan. We have to consider the injunction to a perfect rest. Ito yung command, yung mga pangangailangan, the orders. These are Jesus' commands for us to a perfect rest. Ito yung sa command niya. Hindi niya sinabing, pulutin niyo lang kung saan. Ito yung sinabi niya, take my yoke upon you. Teka muna. If I need rest, hindi ba kailangan ibaba ko lahat ng mga mabigat sa akin? Bakit may yoke na naman? Ba't may iba naman pa? Pasanin pala. And learn from me. These are the two commands that we have to do na kailangan gawin natin in order to reach that place called perfect rest. Okay? Ito yung mga bagay na sinabi ng Panginoong Yesus. Alam nyo, hindi niya sinabing, well, come to me and I will remove all the burdens from you and you are free. Para wala ka ng pabigat. Ano exactly sinabi ng Panginoong Yesus? Well, come to me and I know your burdens, but you know what? In addition to that, dagdag pa eh. Well, take my yoke. Alam mo yung yoke, ganito yung yoke eh. Ito yung yoke nung sinasabi ng Panginoong Yesus. Ang yoke ay ginagamit para pagtabihin ang dalawang baka. Na ganyan, o kaya dalawang ayong na ganyan. Okay, now, let me tell you why Jesus said, learn from me. Nung araw, ang ganyang mga sistema ng mga magsasaka noon ay ganito. If they want to teach a young ox para kung paano magtrabaho sa bukid, kukuha sila ng experienced ox at ilalagay nila sa isang yoke na gano'n. Okay? Yung experienced ox, alam na niya kung anong gagawin niya kapag katrabahoan na sa bukid. Yung young ox, hindi pa. Kaya isasabay nila yan doon sa marunong na. Siyempre may pa-kontra-kontra pa yan dahil hindi pa siya marunong talaga eh. Hanggat dumating yung araw na sanay na siya doon sa ginagawa ng experience ox. Then, pwede naman siyang gamitin ngayon upang magturo ng isang young ox na para matuto rin magtrabaho. That is the mentality of Jesus Christ when He said, take my yoke upon you and learn from me. Ibig sabihin yan, ako alam ko na lahat yan, mga bagay na sinasabi ko. So, I want you to stay beside me. Take my yoke. Sabi niya, ayan ang ibig sabihin niyan, take my yoke because I can put you beside me so that in every day that you live, sa lahat ng araw ng buhay mo, matututo ka because I know where you are going. I know the best for you. So, kapag ikaw ay lumalakad at nabubuhay na kasama ko, then you will learn. Kasi mapapansin niyo yan, that is the yoke na sinasabi ng Panginoong Yesus. Hindi yung, take my yoke upon you. Ang sarap nating kinukot yung verse na yan. Come to me, all you who are labored and of heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you can find rest in your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden. Ang dami ng tao nagkukot yan, but put this in your mind. Yan ang ibig sabihin yan. If you really want to be in the yoke of Jesus Christ, you cannot do your own thing. You cannot think your own thing. You cannot go to your own destination. You follow the destination and everything that is the Lord's. Yan, ibig sabihin na, take my yoke upon you. Huwag kang umakbang na sarili mo lang. Sabayan mo ako dahil kapag hindi ka sumabay sa akin, masisira lang ang trabaho at mahihirapan ka lang. Ganyan din, kung kayo magsasaka at ganyan na nakakita kayo ng ganyan, yung pasaway na tinuturo ang hayop na yan ay nahihirapan lang. Then later on, mas pagod siya kaysa doon sa nagtuturong katabi niya. And later on, masasanay na yan. Then everything goes well because they are in the same yoke and the same space. The same pacing. Yan ang ibig sabihin niyan. Kaya, take my yoke and learn from me. Ang ibig sabihin niyan eh, the principles of the inviting person dapat nasa iyo din. Now, the principles reveal His purposes. Ang principles ng nag-invite nag-invite sa atin upang magkaroon ng perfect rest, you have to know that. And the principles of the Lord is written in His Word, and that reveals His purposes. Ito ngayon ang maganda. The practice of the invited people, kailangan makita mo rin. Because the practice of the invited people, which is us, reflect our principles. Kung anong nakikita mo talaga lifestyle niyan, katabi mo, yan talaga prinsipyo ng buhay niya. Kapag kahit may sweldo naman, ay utang ng utang, ibig sabihin waldas yan. hindi marunong mamuhay ayon sa kanyang income. Kapag yan ay wala nang ibang nasa isip kundi maggala ng maggala, well, that's the lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of a loose person. Ganyan talaga yan. Because our practices reflect our principles. Kapag lagi ka namang, lahat na lang ng tao nakakaaway mo, well, it's an attitude. That is your principle na talagang walang nagtatagal na kaibigan sa buhay mo. That's it. Our practice reflects our principles because if we are yoked with the Lord, we have to consider the principles of that inviting person because we have to take His purposes so that our principles will be along with His purposes. Kahit yung practice natin ay be along with the will of the Lord. Yan dapat maging ganyan. So, the invitation to a perfect rest, but look at it. Merong injunctions, merong mga demands, merong mga requirements for us to reach that perfect place, perfect rest. Kaya, hindi ganun kadali to have that. You have to be in the yoke of Jesus Christ and you have to learn, walk alongside. Kung humahakbang siya ng kaliwa, humahakbang ka rin ng kaliwa. Napapansin niyo yung nung kayo nag-CAT pa, kung may CAT pa nung panahon ninyo. Yeah. Nung high school, kapag nagkuman ng kaliwa, kanan yung hinakbang mo, sisigawan ka talaga. Because you are not in the yoke. Wala ka doon sa tamang timing. And the same is true with the Lord. If you really want rest, kaya nga, ang sabi nila bakit ang pusa pag hinawakan mo yung buntot at hinila mo kukontra? Pero pag hinawakan mo lang na hindi mo hilain, hindi po kontra. Ganun tayo minsan. If Jesus wants to pull us, kumukontra tayo kaya tayo sasaktan. Let it be. Let it be. Because, let it go. Because, the more we go pasaway, habang tayo kumukontra, lalo tayong nasasaktan. So, let it be. Sumabay ka lang sa kanyang yoke. Let His principles be in your life so that your practices will be according to His principles. Kaya mga kapatid, when Jesus said, take my yoke, it's another kind of load of burden. Napapansin ninyo? Alam ko, pagod ka na. Sabi ng Panginoon Jesus, pero kunin mo itong aking pamatok. Ay, teka muna, pagod na nga iba pa yung pamatok. Well, that is the way it is. If you want rest, hindi sinabi ng Panginoon Jesus na, I will take all your burdens away from you and I will not give you any burden anymore. Hindi. Anong sabi niya? Dagdag ito. Dadagdagan mo ng pabigat sa sarili mo, but this thing will give you rest. Alam ko, hirap ka na emotionally, physically, or whatever, spiritually, but you know what? To have rest in all of that, kapag gusto mong pahinga sa mga bagay na yan, I will not take the load from your back. I will put my yoke upon you. Napapansin yung ibig sabihin ng Panginoon, Lord, alisin mo itong pasanin kong ito. Don't pray that. Just pray this, Lord, put your yoke on me. Upang ang pasaning ito ay kaya kong hilain. Why? Because it is His yoke that gives you strength. Kasi nga, if His yoke is upon you, whatever load is in you, ano mangyayari doon? Ang resulta, it's not you pulling that. It's Him. Because you are yoked with the Lord. It's another kind of load, but that load will give you rest. Learn from me. It is to acquire habit by practice. Kapag nakuha mo na yung habit, it's not accidental. It's not once in a while. It is by habit. Kapag naging habit mo na yan, subukan nyo lang na mag-pray kayo bawat umaga. You can hardly do it in a week. If you put a schedule, magbabasa ka, mag-aral ka ng salita ng Diyos, mag-pray ka, sa unang linggo, struggle yan. Do it in 3 months. Hindi na struggle yan. I guarantee you that. It will be a routine and it will be a part of your life. Hahanap-hanapin na ng katawan mo. Na bawat gising mo sa umaga, pagkatapos mo magpa-refresh doon sa banyo, you'll go, open your gadget, open the Bible icon, and read the devotionals. And then pray to the Lord. If you have done that for every day in the last 3 months, it's no longer a struggle for you. It has become a habit. And that is what Jesus wants us to do when He said, learn from me. First, take my yoke. You walk side by side with me. If I take the right step, you take the right step. If I go to the right, you'll go to the right. And then later on, my yoke, you can learn from me. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng Panginoon. Lord, teach me your ways. I-kontra ka naman ng kontra. Itong hirap sa atin, we want to learn the ways of the Lord, but we don't want His yoke. Ayaw natin ng pamatok niya. Well, that's not. It's not relevant. Hindi yan parehas. Hindi yan mangyayari na matututo ka kung ayaw mo yung kanyang pamatok. Let the load and the burden of the Lord be on us because His load is not heavy. Di ba sabi niya, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Kaya, mga kapatid, that's it. Now, here it is. There is the invitation, the injunction, and here it is, the incentives. Ito naman, ito yung mahilig natin. The incentive, oh wow, na-reach namin yung sales quota namin. Meron lahat kaming incentives. Oh, ito yung gusto natin lahat, di ba? Na-reach natin yung binigay ng company na ganyan. Oh, magbibigay sila ng incentive para sa atin. Now, the incentive also is available for perfect rest. Ito yung mga incentives niya. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. Why? For I am gentle and humble in heart. Saan ka naman makakahanap ng gentle and humble in heart na supervisor? Bihira, di ba? Kapag nagkahanap ka niyan, napakapalad mo, kapatid. Kapag nagkaroon ka ng amo na gentle and humble in heart, walang mahars na kang maririnig. Kapag nagkamali ka, nandun, ikokorek ka para tuturuan ka niya. Huwag ka nang umalis. Kaya nga yung iba nag-aalisan dahil ang kanilang mga superior ay hindi gentle and humble in heart. Ang hirap maghanap niyan. But Jesus said, this is one of the incentives of a perfect rest. I am gentle and humble in heart. And you will find rest not only in your body first, but in your souls. Well, you know what Jesus is telling here? You know what? Physical exhaustion sometimes is good for you. But spiritual exhaustion is not. But here, in me, you will find rest in your souls. Bakit hindi sinabing, you will find rest in your bodies? Kasi yung pagod, yung mapapagod na katawan, maganda yan. Na-exercise yan. Nakakatanggal ng stress yan. Nakakababa ng cholesterol at saka sugar level yan. When you exert physically, maganda yan because God created us as workers. Tinan yung kamay ninyo. Huwag mong hangarin na wala kang gagawin dahil delikado yan. Physically. Ang hangarin mo na lahat ng gagawin mo, it will never affect your soul. Find rest. Kaya nga sabi ni Jesus, you will find rest in your souls because His concern is deep within you, my friend. Kasi ang hirap ng tao na pagod na dun sa loob. Yung bang spiritually worn out, emotionally burned out. Ito yung mga pinakamahirap na dadaanan ng tao. But physically tired, well, it's okay. Yung iba nga pagod ng pagod, basketball ng tuloy-tuloy pagod yung katawan, pero pag gawin, happy. Diba? Relax. Why? Physical exertion is relaxation, but spiritual exhaustion is not. Kaya ang sabi ng Panginoon Yesus, yung rest na ito, hindi yung sa trabahong physical. Ang rest na ito, yung sinasabi ng Panginoon na, you have been imposed with a lot of requirements by the Roman Empire, with the temple, with the mga pari dyan, mga siserdote dyan. Ang dami na natin gagawin. Spiritually, you are tired. We have been sinning always. You have been sinning always, all those years. You are spiritually tired. But I have come to say, come. I will give you a perfect rest. Ang perfect na pahinga. See? And then He said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Di ba maganda? Kunin mo ito. Actually, hindi ito pabigat sa'yo. Para bang sinabing, gumising ka ng maaga sa Friday, hindi yan pabigat. It's actually rest. See? Mag-aral ka ng Biblia, magbasa ka naman ng salita ko ng 15 minutes and then pray because that is not pabigat. Actually, that is the way to perfect rest. Minsan sa atin, hirap naman yung tinutulog pa sa pag-aral module na to naman. Wala naman ako. Well, that's not work. That is rest. Pahinga yan, kapatid. Kaya nga, siguro nakikita ninyo, bakit mga pastor na yan? Walang sweldo, walang ginagawa ng mga yan. This is where we find rest. Ang pagod namin sa labas ay napapahinga dito. Because if you are serving the Lord, you will find out in yourself that is not tiresome, that is relaxation. See? Kaya nga sabi ng Panginoon Jesus, you will find rest not in your bodies, Bakit niya puyat ng puyat yung mga leader na yan? Ano mo mapapala nila yan tapos wala pang bayad, wala ganyan. Well, that is rest to us. Pahinga yan. Because the yoke of the Lord is easy and His burden is light. Ibig sabihin yan, the integrity of the person who gives you the incentive, mapagkakatiwalaan ba yan? Siyempre, He said, I am gentle and humble in heart. That is the integrity of Jesus Christ as a person who says, I will give you rest. But take a look at the warranty of His promise. Ano yung warranty of His promise? Well, come to me, you who are heavy laden, and maybe I will give you rest. If I can. Let me see how good you are. Let me see your intentions, how good you are. And then maybe I will give you. No, ang sabi niya, you will surely find rest in me. If you come to me, if it does appeal into your will, na gusto mong makasama ako, and you will stay with me constantly in close proximity, and we will have personal relationship, I guarantee you 100% there is rest in your souls. See? The warranty of His promise, and then here it is, the certainty of His purposes. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Ibig sabihin nun, may gagawin ka din. You will not stay there sitting all those years. Kaya nga, walang membro sa church na totoong nasa Panginoon na 10 taon, bumubutas lang ng upuan. No, wala yon. Kung ikaw ay totoo na sa Panginoon at totoong ang buhay mo ay nasa Panginoon, there has to be changes. The yoke is there and the burden is there. But don't worry, the yoke is easy and the burden is light. Ibig sabihin yan, merong mga pasanin, merong mga bagay na responsibilidad, but it's easy at lahat ng mga pasanin na bibigay sa iyo ng Panginoon is light. Hindi yan pabigat sa iyo, hindi yan pahirap sa iyo, because when He said ganyan tayo. Alam niyo ang sitwasyon natin? Take my yoke is easy. You know what? If you are yoked with if you are an ox, kapag ikaw ay isang ox na nai-yoke ka sa isang mas malakas na ox, you don't have to exert much. Alam niyo bakit? Ang hihila naman yung mas malakas eh. Para bang sa buhatan na lang, yung iba nakakapit lang naman eh. Di ba? Ay, maskulado itong katabi ko, dito na lang ako. Katabi tayo, Brad. Kasi alam niya, gano'n lang siya, kunwari, hindi naman bumubuot. Ang bumubuot naman talaga yung katabi niya. Ganon din tayo sa Panginoon. When Jesus said, take my yoke upon you. I know your problems, but I'm guaranteeing you, it's not you pulling it off. Hindi ikaw ang hihila niyan. Ako, sapagkat ako ay mas malakas sa iyo. Now, if you're yoked with me, all the burdens that are on your shoulders, all the burdens that you are pulling, lahat ng mga bagay, mga pabigat na hinihila mo at hihatak-hatak ng buhay mo, hindi na ikaw ang mas humihila niyan. Ako na, sapagkat ako ay mas malakas kaysa sa'yo. Ganyan tayo. We are the smaller ox and the Lord is the bigger ox. Kaya nga, to whom? Kanino ka makikipag-yoke sa mas maliit sa'yo? Hindi ikaw lalo napagod. Then yoke yourself with the Lord. When He said, take my yoke upon you, because my yoke is easy. It fits just right for you. Kaya nga, ibig sabihin niyang kapatid, His yoke is easy, it fits just right. Tamang-tama sa'yo. Hindi ka mahihirapan. And His burden is light. See? He carries most of the load for us. Kaya nga, take my yoke upon you, and learn from me, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Hanap ng isang tao na kasama nating papasan sa ating mga problema. Samantalang nag-iimbita ang Panginoon, ay, come to me. I will give you rest. It will not be hard. Ang buhay mo ay hindi nakakapagod. Ang buhay mo ay hindi magiging nakakasawa because you will be yoked with me. And my yoke is easy and the burden is light because I'm going to pull it off for you. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng Panginoon. You want perfect rest? Don't look anywhere. Look to the one who can offer you that. It's Jesus Christ. Iisa lang. And He said, I will. Hindi sinabing, maybe I will. I might. I will. Kaya kung babalikan natin yan, kapatid, yes, the first thing He said, isa sa mga bagay na sinabi niya, He will build His church. But this is one thing, within the church, He knows that exhaustion will be there. Kaya sabi niya, don't worry. There's a lot of things that you have to do in the church, but I will give you rest. Just come to me. Tandaan niyo ito. 3 things that you have to understand in conclusion. The invitation is RSVP. Alam niyo ibig sabihin niya? Responde Cecil Wolf na yan. If you don't respond, you're not in. The invitation is RSVP. If you don't respond to the invitation, you will not be there. Naalala niyo isang kwento? A famous singer was invited to a wedding in a 5-star hotel. Pinadalan siya ng RSVP, nakalimutan niyang sagutin. Nandun sila sa ball. Nandun siya, nakapasok siya. Pero yung invitation sa reception, hindi niya nasagot. Akala niya, okay lang siya. Famous singer siya eh. Kumanta na siya sa kasal. Ganda ng kanta niya. Nung kainan na, papunta na siya sa reception. Nasaan yung ano? Ito yung invitation ko eh. Tinignan sa computer. Hindi kayo nag-reply. Nadadalo. I'm very sorry. You cannot come in. Parang ganun din tayo. You may have joined a group called church. You may have joined the people called people who are of the Lord, mga tao na para sa Panginoon. If you have not responded personally to the invitation of the Lord and said, come to me, because that is an RSVP, you will not be there. You will not be a part of it. So, take note of this. You want perfect rest? Kailangan mo ng perfect rest? The Lord's invitation is RSVP. Respond to it. And then sa pangalawa, the injunction are ASAP. As soon as possible. Yung mga ginagawa, take my yoke upon you and learn from me. Well, you can do it a year after. You do it now if you want rest. Take my yoke and learn from me. Do it now because you cannot delay. And here it is. The incentives are sa mga nagtatrabaho sa opisina, alam yan. As a matter of fact, totoo yan. These are the incentives of perfect rest. The invitation is RSVP. The injunctions are ASAP. And the incentives are as a matter of fact. Totoo lahat yan. Tayong lahat ay tumayo.